afternoon and welcome to today's edition of the afternoon edition. My name is Isa Nu. Today we shall be discussing issues that pertains to personal security. And as you know, the Yuletide period is a period within the FCT where so many persons leave their place of work to return back to their state of origin or other places just to celebrate this particular period. And as a result of that, the city gets to be a bit scanty and no much people, the traffic reduces, but then it comes with its own challenges, and that's the issue of security. How do we make sure that, yes, despite the fact that we have so many persons living the city, we still have that security that is needed to protect properties, to protect people's life, and then to also give that succor to those who are living within the city. So we'll take a very short break, and when we return, Mr. Danton Gwamna will be joining us, Dominic Gwamna will be joining us to discuss this particular issue on the essence of personal safety. So let's go for this break. Welcome back from that short break, and I'm sorry for the technical issues we had before now, but then that has been fixed and we can definitely go ahead with the program. So looking at the situation on ground, and just like I did inform you before the break, we have nobody but Mr. Gwaman Dominic Datong, who is a security expert and a major analyst when it comes to the issue of security, most especially here within the FCT. Good afternoon and welcome to the afternoon edition.
Thank you very much.
It's nice having you once more, and looking at this particular time is a peak in all activities. If you go to some MDAs, they are trying to round up issues, and probably start seeing parties around just to end of the year party, and Christmas is on Sunday. So when you look at the whole of this situation, this rush for the celebration of the festival period, what comes to your mind being an expert on issues that borders on security?
What really comes to my mind is to say, I hope that the security agencies actually prepared beforehand, before this time, in order to tackle any threats that could come as a result of, even though the city is depleted, but there is also areas where you have high density of people. Because work has now closed, and people will now look for places where they are going to rest and relax. Yeah. So it's as dense as when there are people, because anybody that has any intentions, bad intentions, either terrorism or banditry or theft or whatever, he will be able to have a bunch of people seated together at a place. So it will be easy for him to inflict a harm on a large number of people. So my hope is that as at this time, the security agencies would have prepared already to say, okay, this area, this area, this area, this area are flashpoints, or points where we're going to have very high density of people, and then make them to, they deploy people operationally to go check up that place, plain clothes, uniformed, and so on, so that they can take care of those areas.
Okay, before now we had this tension then when Kuje prison was attacked, and then we also had the presidential guard brigades that was also attacked, and some casualties were recorded during that particular period. And when you look at the way, the stability that has been gained over time, should there be any fear in our minds?
Yes, there should be fears. Why? Because around Abuja, there's insecurity. So Abuja can be a target, and nobody will come and dwell in here and be doing small attacks. When they want to launch a major attack, especially in terrorism, they're looking for areas where you have a large number of people to inflict harm on people in order to speak to government. Normally in terrorism, the people don't, they are just how will I say it now, an avenue of communication. It's not as if they did something wrong,
Yes.
but they want to communicate to government through attacks on people. So, and Christmas and other festive periods like this give an avenue, a simple avenue for them to be able to inflict such attacks. So we can say, yeah, Abuja is relatively calm, relatively safe, but it's relative. And you can't say whether somebody cannot come from a nearby a state where there is high insecurity, like Kaduna, Zamfara, and others, where you have high rates of crimes and banditry. You can't be sure that somebody will not come here. Recently, I think there was a discovery in one of the estates along Airport Road, where some arms and ammunitions were gotten from someone. Could there be other people like that? Could there be an influx of people while people are going out? Others are coming in preparation for such events. So these are things that by now, that's why I said I hope by now the security agencies would have planned already for the season. So because security is not supposed to be an instantaneous thing. It's supposed to be something that is planned over the period. You know the locations that are flashpoints, where are possible places where these things can happen, who can even be of a security threat, who are the people that are supposed to be stakeholders in security, providing security information, the operations, and the strategies. Who are the players in those areas? So you have to, make people to take up their roles, including the citizens that are, moving around the city. They need to also be sensitized before now to understand what they need to do when there's such a threat. And when they are going to places that are highly dense like that.
Okay, just like you've rightly stated, the issue of places that are highly dense. And, at this particular point, even as at Sunday, Saturday, thereabout, you see people trooping out of the state, that's in the FCT. And when you go to parks, you see the way these parks is filled up with people. And how then should security come in with that respect, trying to put up things with the park managers?
Well, so it's quite unfortunate also. When you go to the parks, you don't see police there. So people can actually move things around without people knowing. So in my opinion, those stakeholders that you have, that I called, including the citizens, in this case now of great importance is the park authorities, NURTW.
Yes.
They don't see themselves as security people, but they are really a security organization, or they should be made to be, because that's the point. It's like having a pipe. People enter a pipe from a security-prone zone and they'll come out at this point where you have no issues of security. They come out there and infiltrate the whole place. So special attention needs to be put, not just during these festive periods, but even afterwards. Let the NURTW people be aware that they are a major part of the security of any city and also of the country, so that whatever it is that they are going to, to do, they will be security conscious. Training can be given to them, of course, free of charge, because this a social service that they are going to be given, to be giving to the nation. So special security training needs to be given to them. If possible, even allowances can also be given to them as a body, because security has no price, actually. You can pay anything for security. Another group of people that are normally neglected are these private security guards. In fact, in Abuja, they are much more than the police.
The private security guards.
Yeah, the private security guards. And they have a lot of information because they have networks everywhere. So if one thing happens in one area, all of them are aware. Even the private security of other companies are also aware. So I think they also host a lot of information that is required, to give us better security in this city. I don't know whether it's being used, but if it's being used, I will urge the security agents or agencies to ensure that they collaborate with these people. They look like useless people, but they are really very important. As I said, their number may actually surpass the number of policemen within the FCT here. So those ones also need to be brought in somehow, even during this festive period, because most of the areas where you have a high density of people, you also have these private security guards there. So they need to, really also be integrated within this period. Technology, well, as I said, you cannot just start deploying technology because of Christmas. If there was to be a technology, it should have been on ground already, so that it will help to, curb any issues of insecurity.
Okay, you've stated that clearly because the motor park seems to be one of the convergence points where people get to. If you go to Jabi Park or Taco Park as it is being called, you discover there's so many persons. But then one other part of exit is also the train station. Just recently, they commenced operation, and unfortunately an accident happened. That was, I think, a week or two back where a woman was killed. So at that particular point now, what kind is it? Are we still expecting the same security architecture at the way we have it at the park to also be at the train stations?
So if by now we don't have high security at the train stations and on the train, then I think we are jokers as Nigerians. But because at least I trust Nigerians in doing such. In fire brigade, we are always very good at that. So I trust that by now they would have put some security measures already that will protect people on the trains, and also checking people while they go into the trains and also as they exit. So for me, I am not seeing it so much as a flashpoint, even though these terrorists and bandits, they don't care if they die. So they just, it's like the outside people will say, "Sun sadakat the rayu kansu." They just, it's like their lives are just like a sacrifice. So you never can tell. But there's an extent to which you can provide security. Providing security does not mean that nothing will happen. It will only make it difficult to happen. Or so you have to do an extra thing to ensure that you're able to hit your target. So I'm not so much afraid of the trains like that, because Nigeria would have prepared already for that.
Okay. And then now moving forward, you talked about we've looked at the issue of the park and then that of the railway station. But then one major one that normally happens at this particular period in time now is the issue of thief burgling into people's houses because they know these persons have traveled out of the state, and also at the same time also attacking people in their residence. So how then can we fix up this issue, looking at it from the homeland security architecture?
So I will still go back again. Security is not an instantaneous thing. Individuals are responsible. Government is also responsible. For individuals, you're traveling, what are the measures that you kept in your own residence to ensure that such incidences don't happen? Did you just leave a small child there? Even if you left an adult, when it happens, is there any standard procedure that he needs to follow when such a thing happens? And that comes back now to government. Do we have any standard procedure that when something happens to you, this is what you do? Personally, at this my level of understanding and knowledge, if something happens here now, I don't know whom to call. I may call a friend. I may call, okay, because I know I'm a member of the PCRC, so somehow I have a way to call one or two people. But the ordinary person on the street that does not know somebody, if something like that happens, what does he do? So you can't prevent it, but at least when it happens, let's see how we can prevent a future occurrence and also find a way to arrest the person that committed that act. So as an individual, you're traveling, do you have any dogs at home? Do you have CCTV? How secured are you? How are you giving surveillance to your residents while away? Or you just prayed and felt that God will take care of your properties? What is your own responsibility? Before you go down to government, have you done your own part to ensure that you are really, really safe? So all those need to be done. And then, of course, the government has a higher responsibility, because response to such issues, when they receive the information, if there is a channel, when they receive the information, if there is a channel, the response should normally come from the government, because they have the monopoly of violence. If you're violent, they are the ones that have the constitutional right to return violence for violence. So they have a higher, responsibility in such a case, especially while they are responding to security situations.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Guaman, for giving us this detail. But then, still, we have so much to discuss with regards to how we go about all these issues. But then, unfortunately, so many things do happen, and Nigerians seems to be more concerned with regards to how festive period are being taken seriously with respect to the issue of security. And that's the more reason why we are discussing this issue this afternoon. So we'll take a very short break, and when we return, we shall continue with the second half of the program. Okay, welcome back. I'm from that mild break, and I'm still here. We have Mr. Guaman Datong Dominic. I'm discussing issues of personal safety during the Yuletide season. And as you know, Christmas is just on 25th of December, very, very close to us, and so many persons are leaving the city, and there is that strong need for us to really be more conscious at this particular point in time, most especially if you are doing your activities towards the evening and night. It's very, very important. So now looking at the state of things, and looking at what are the kind of things that the government needs to put in place to further enhance what they have on ground.
Well, instantaneously, they can't do anything. However, as I said earlier, we have already some security agencies already, especially the police, the civil defense, and what I'm recommending, within the next few days, they can actually use them. What I'm recommending is the addition of the private security. Even if it means paying those companies allowances within this period, let them pay them and get more security, collaborate more with them so that they can, provide either, because they don't have tools. I mean, they don't have guns, they don't have tools for response, but tools for gathering of information, they have a lot. So I think that should be something that they need to do. Then sometimes also they may have some technology which they are not using. Within that period, probably they need to intensify some efforts. If it's training, to get people to be trained on those devices, they will quickly do that. But instantaneously, I keep talking about that. Security is not something that you just wake up today and say, I want to do. It must be something that you plan, over a period of time. So it's just for them to effectively make use of any security agent that they have. And also within the few days, they can also talk to people about their personal safety. They should raise issues where they are supposed to, where they see any security concerns. They should popularize emergency numbers. Sometimes when you see some what they call them WhatsApp messages coming around that this is a DPO of this area, this is a DPO of this area. Imagine in emergency times, you won't be able to even go through your WhatsApp to check where the number is. So we should intensify efforts to provide short numbers that people can memorize, so that these kind of issues, when they happen, you can quickly pick up your phone, hide, and even keep it in your phone. Even if you are one of the victims, you can keep it in your phone, your pocket, and even talk. But if you have to dial 11 numbers, I mean, it doesn't really make sense. And then DPO is supposed to be a strategic person, not operational. So if you share the number of a DPO and 100 people are calling him, how does he manage those calls? He cannot manage those calls. So they need to have some kind of special response platform where people will provide information, and then validation can go on, and then response can, operational response can be provided at such locations. So they need to, whatever they have at the moment, they need to intensify, maximize the use of either the personnel or technology that they have.
Okay, what role can the civilian JTF, or what are they called, the vigilante, play during this period?
Yes, so the vigilante is also as good as the, if not better, as the private security, because they are actually like the community police, because most of them know what is happening around, In fact, sometimes they even know the criminals, and they can provide such information. But if there's no synergy, if there's no channel of communication, because they are useless people, they've not been to school, because that's what we normally look at. They didn't go to school. They are not corporate people, so there's no information that they will provide. But they are the ones that actually have more information than the police. At the end of the day, when something happens around, it's them that you go to meet. Do you know this person? He has been passing here every day. Yesterday he passed there on a bike. There was a bag on his on the bike. Blah blah. They will be able to tell you a lot of information. So if you put them in the scheme of things, they will be able. Security will be improved. So within this period, I don't know how quickly they can do that. Because it's difficult to, organize such a people within the shortest time period. But if they can, have some synergy with them, it will be very, very important, because they are the ones that are closest to the grassroots, as they call it in politics. They are the ones that are closest to where the security issues happen. So I think they need to involve them a little bit more. Incidentally, normally they have their groups and they have heads. So getting information from them is not very, very, very difficult to get. So they should be used, in my own opinion.
Okay. Now looking at some of these dark spots we have within the city, and I know definitely as at yesterday I was able to pass some places, and I'm saying that even on the road the lights are being fixed, and what helps doing it, because sometimes even when these lights are being fixed, vandals do go there, destroy and get whatsoever they need to pick from it to go and sell. So how then do we further make this process very strengthened in such a way that yes, it will serve the purpose it is being made for?
Yeah, so the issue of lighting in Abuja actually is a very big shame that in Abuja you have dark spots. Whatever it would cost the government, I think government should ensure that everywhere within the city is well lit. Whatever source of power they are going to get, let it have a special power source. Sometimes you see even along the airport road, the whole lights there are gone. It's really a shame on us as a country. This is the federal capital, where everybody coming to Nigeria wants to visit. I think it's one of the most beautiful cities in Nigeria that can be comparable to many cities or capital cities of the world. So we should do all that it takes to ensure that people, the whole city is well lit. And then the issue of security, there are many ways to secure those lights. You can fire up the poles with electric current if you come there, and clearly write it there, danger.
Yeah.
If you come here, you are shocked. That is your problem. Of course, you can also gauge it in such a way that it can only immobilize somebody and not kill him, depending on what you want to do, because these are petty crimes. But of course, the ripple effect of that petty crime is high. They may be taking it out so that they'll block the road somewhere. I know somewhere around Sheraton at the point there, I know some 2-3 people. I don't know whether it still happens now. I know 2-3 people that have been stopped there around the mosque.
Okay.
Yeah, they have been stopped there, and their phones collected from them. Money is collected also from them. So dark spots like that are really dangerous in the night. Normally, sometimes when you go under bridges also, you find out that they are so dark. In fact, I took Uber some time ago, and it was shorter for him to follow under the bridge. And he told me that anytime from 7, he doesn't normally follow under the bridge because it's not well lit and anything can happen to him. So I also learned from him. Anytime from when it starts getting dark, I don't take under the bridge. No matter how free that road is, I don't take it. So government should ensure that they could get the service provider that will be providing this light. You don't have to use a Ministry of Works or whatever to do that. Get a service provider that will walk around every night to check, is this light on? Is any one of them dead? In other countries, when you go to other countries, you see that the lights are always on. Is it that they don't also die? They do, but they will fix it as soon as possible. So whatever we need to do, get a good source of power to that place, ensure that it's all roads are well lit, and when any bulb dies, they are able to fix it.
Okay. Just lastly, in a minute or two plus, you can just give us an understanding of this concept that has to do with people using taxi at this particular point in time. You know, the issue of one chance. As it is being popularly being called, kidnapping and the rest. So what measures should we take as persons to avoid such? Just in 1 minute plus. Well,
so normally they will tell you, if you have, as the name suggests, if there's only one chance, there is a high possibility that it is one chance. So don't enter. And as primitive as our motor parks are, they are a bit more secured. Where you see all these the NURTW people collecting 20 naira to load vehicles, they are actually more secured, because those that load in those places are actually well known to them, even though they may not be really documented. But there are not so many that the people will not know. I know quite a number of people that may have forgotten things in vehicles. You go to the park and report to the NURTW people, and you find out that after a few days they can get it for you, even if you didn't check the number plate of the car. and you come back and describe the driver, they will say, it's Marlon Wani or Mr. Wani that picked you, and they will be able to trace to an extent. So people should avoid taking taxis where you don't have some sort of authority, especially those that load people there. Those ones, they are always in that place, so they know people that are
come in and go out.
Come in and going out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dominic Guaman Datong, for coming for the program today. And definitely we will still need you more to look at other issues, because election is coming. The issue of insecurity is still there. But then we always want Abuja to be safe for all. This is how far we can go today on the program, the afternoon edition. My name is Isanu. You've listened. Please take care of yourself. It's very, very important that when you see something, you say something. Bye and have a wonderful day.